Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry for the long delay, but today we're going to be going over the scenario, what if Cell was good? Now this story begins in the future timeline with Cell awakening. Let's say that all the good cells inside of Cell turned him into a hero versus the monologuing menace we know him as. Cell sees what his android brethren have been up to, and it breaks him. After searching the world, he finds future Trunks and explains what he is, telling the young Saiyan that he was meant to be Jiro's perfect android warrior, that he's made from stolen DNA of the Z Fighters and even monsters like King Cold and Frieza. He even has DNA from his mother, Bulma, the smartest woman alive. Trunks is confused. Why would Cell want to help him? But Cell says he doesn't know. When he awoken, he felt different than what his creator had intended. He thinks it's the combination and percentage of DNA that makes him up. He feels the hope of Goku and the Z Fighters and their urge to protect the innocent. Because of this, he wants to help Trunks stop the androids. Cell tells Trunks he has the perfect way to do it. Now this is before future Trunks initially traveled to the past because Cell woke up a little bit earlier. The duo tracked the androids on a destruction spree in West City. Imperfect Cell confronts his brother and sister, and they laugh at him. He's the perfect warrior their father was constructing. He looks like a monster. Jiro really was losing his mind towards the end. Trunks tells them that their time is up, that humanity will prevail as he lunges in to fight 18. Cell targets Android 17, whose cockiness quickly turns into fear as Cell begins absorbing him. Imperfect Cell's power skyrockets and he actually transforms into Semi-Perfect Cell. Android 18 experiences fear for the first time as she watches Semi-Perfect Cell approach her. While she's distracted, Trunks knocks 18 into his newfound ally. Cell absorbs the android, becoming perfect in the process and fulfilling an innate directive within himself. Trunks collapses as the threat is over. All this time, all the people he's lost. He was ready to escape into the past to change the fate of this world, but now he doesn't know what to do. Cell tells them that they will go to the past. Perhaps they can prevent this horrible future from ever taking place. Having DNA from Bulma, Cell has her genius, and together they build a time machine much larger than the first one. And while the machine is being constructed, Cell trains alongside Trunks, making him even stronger than his canon counterpart. Cell and future Trunks arrive in the past, and they immediately sense two evil energies approaching the Earth. It is King Cold and Mecha Frieza. This time, when the two tyrants land on Earth, they are greeted not only by the Golden Warrior, but perfection personified. Cell and Frieza begin monologuing at each other. Cell is good, but he's still just as snarky as he was in canon. Trunks asks if Cell could take a step back as he erases both Frieza and King Cold with one giant ki blast, showing how much stronger he's really gotten since training with Cell. The Z Fighters arrive and they're so confused at what they're seeing and what they sense. Krillin rushes in saying he could have sworn he felt Goku's ki, but Trunks says he's still a few hours away, and if he wants to meet him, then follow him. Trunks and Cell arrive to where Goku is going to land. With the Z Fighters in tow, everybody is confused by what's going on, but the prospect of seeing Goku again keeps everybody calm. And when Goku does eventually arrive, Cell and Trunks pull him to the side and explain to him what's happened. Cell tells Goku that it's an honor to meet him and that he feels connected to him somehow. Goku says hi and tells him these androids must be really special if they had to go back in time to stop them. Cell reveals the location of Jiro's lab and tells them that in 3 years, the androids will begin their crusade against humanity and how all the Z Fighters will fall unless they get ready to stop them. And despite not meeting Goku before, Cell knows that Goku would not want to stop the androids before they're activated. He would want a fair fight with them. And Goku smirks, replying, yeah, he wants to beat these androids fair and square. Trunks gives Goku his heart medication and says they'll be back in 3 years, but Cell decides to stay and train alongside the Z Fighters. After all, they are a part of him, and he wants to get to know them. Cell and Trunks shake hands goodbye as the future warrior returns to his timeline. Goku brings Cell over to introduce him to everyone, but Piccolo says he heard everything and brings everyone up to speed. Everyone agrees that they're going to train for 3 years and meet at Jiro's lab. Cell goes alongside Goku, but this time he convinces them to use the gravity chamber alongside Vegeta. This would allow for a more perfect training session, as Vegeta will push Goku and the others, and Vegeta himself will learn how to tap into Super Saiyan at will. Cell is curious as to how much he can grow. He's already become stronger than he could have ever imagined. And because of Cell's innate understanding of Saiyan biology and techniques, during the 3 years of training, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta actually learned to transform into Super Saiyan at will. Goku and Vegeta actually believe there's a level even further beyond this as well. Piccolo and the Z Fighters have all also sharpened their techniques under the tutelage of Cell Juniors. This allows Cell to be in more than one place at once and train everybody equally. Now, the night before the androids attack, all the Z Fighters group outside of Jiro's lab, waiting for them to exit. In the morning, when Jiro and 19 come out, they are hit with a surprise attack. Cell confronts Jiro, who is revealed to be an android. Jiro is shocked. How can Cell be here and be perfect if he's not even born yet? Cell explains that he's from the future, and when he gets a good look at Android 19, he asks, where are 17 and 18? He doesn't have time to deal with these inferior models. Jiro scans Cell and asks how he got this way, and Cell says through training like the fighters whose DNA he stole, Cell unlocked powers within him he didn't think possible. Jiro finishes his scans and quickly launches a blast before escaping back into his hideout. Future Trunks arrives and is shocked to see what's happening. 19 faces Cell and is quickly dismantled. Jiro is typing madly on his computer before activating 17 and 18. Cell and the Z Fighters enter and see the two androids confronting their creator. But before they can kill him, Jiro presses a button which collapses his entire laboratory. The two androids escape with another pod, and the Z Fighters regroup at the crater that is now the mountain. Android 17 and 18 activate 16 and face off against Cell and the Z Fighters. They see Goku and their prime directive takes over. They want to kill him. Before they can square off and fight, Cell intervenes, begging them to fight their programming, to choose freedom. That they don't have to do what their father programmed them to do. Goku steps in front of Cell and tells the android if it's a fight they want, it's a fight they'll get. Goku launches directly at 17 and the two of them fight while Vegeta fights Android 18 and Gohan fights Android 16. Goku and 17 are nearly equally matched in base, but once Goku turns Super Saiyan, the tide begins to turn. And this time, Goku's not going to collapse because of the heart virus. This is because he already got sick during the 3 years of training. The intense training at Super Saiyan caused the symptoms to manifest earlier, which allowed him to take the medicine and recover earlier as well. Now, Vegeta's match with 18 isn't going to turn out like canon either, because the prince has the power to back his pride. He's not taking it easy on Android 18, but once she kicks him with the intent of smashing his arm, he knocks her out and bombards her with an array of ki blasts. Gohan and 16 have less of a fight and more of a conversation about life. The android seems to be much more gentle than his comrades. Gohan pleads with him for peace and that he doesn't want to destroy him. He begs for him to give up his vendetta against his father, not to listen to his programming, to choose life. Goku and 17's fight begins to ramp up as Goku taps deeper into Super Saiyan. He's eventually able to overpower the android, knocking him down into the dirt next to his twin. The two androids rise, ready to take on Goku and Vegeta. But this time, Cell and Android 16 step in. 16 tells them to let it go. The Jiro may have made them, but he doesn't control them anymore. Cell then emotionally warns them about the bombs in their chest, revealing that him and Bulma made these detonators as a failsafe in case the androids proved to be too much. He made her a promise that he would put his pride aside and protect her son. The androids snap at the thought of having bombs in their chest. They call Cell's bluff, but Android 16 admits the truth. He too has a self-destructive device within him. Krillin takes a chance and steps up to Android 18, telling her that they can remove the bombs, that their friend Bulma is a genius, and she'd be more than happy to help them. They just have to stop fighting. Realizing they don't have a choice, 17 and 18 surrender. Cell and Bulma remove the bombs from them, and the androids go off on their own. And the Cell saga concludes with, wait, what was that? A huge energy spike just happened right outside of Capsule Corp, followed by another one. Cell quickly rushes outside and he's horrified when he sees himself. Evil Cell begins to laugh. Jealous of my perfection? You're not the only one, brother. Good Cell is stunned. All he can utter is how. Evil Cell laughs at Good Cell's confusion, saying it was his fault. That he was destined to become a goody two-shoes as well had Future Cell not messed with this timeline. Once Jiro saw and scanned him, he knew his faults. He knew the mistakes that he had made. And that before his untimely death, Jiro quickly adjusted Cell's programming, making him truly perfect. Evil Cell is a lot like Canon Cell, and Jiro also matched Evil Cell's power with that of Good Cell's. Cell then goes on to say that the doctor detonated the lab in order to protect Cell, allowing him to gestate in peace. And that when he finally awoke around a decade later, the androids of that timeline were gone, absorbed by Good Future Cell. Evil Cell says he bided his time and waited, and once Future Trunks arrived back in the future after dropping Cell off in the past, he struck. Killing Future Trunks, his patience was rewarded with a time machine, one large enough to fit him. Using it, he jumped back into the past. He once again began waiting. He was shocked when he saw Future Trunks flying around, and that's when it hit him. Future Cell's actions had split the timeline into who knows how many branches, all stemming from his one decision to go back in time and stay there. Cell then followed the Z-Fighters to outside Capsule Corp, and once the androids emerged bomb-free, he struck and absorbed them. Gaining perfection, Evil Cell's power is insurmountable. He cackles and laughs, saying he only wishes the good doctor could bear witness to his brother's destruction. The two cells begin to fight each other, and it's clear that Evil Cell has the edge. Goku, Vegeta, and Future Trunks all try to help, but they are no match for him. And for a rough scaling idea, let's say that Evil Cell is around Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Buu Saga Goku, to be clear. Evil Cell knocks down the fighters, and just before he's about to kill them, he begins monologuing, saying how he wishes he could find a foe to match him, to challenge him. He wants to get stronger, but this planet has only fodder to offer him. Maybe he'll find his match somewhere in the universe. Goku steps up and says if he wants a fight with a worthy opponent, he will give him one. He just needs time. Evil Cell is intrigued and offers them 4 days to produce a worthy foe for the Cell games before flying off into space. This time, he's not going to announce it to the world. He's smart enough to know that Earth's strongest fighters are here. He's also much less patient, so he's not giving them a week. He's tired of waiting around. Goku and the Z-Fighters get up, and Cell asks, who is the fighter he was talking about? Goku smirks and says they'll find out soon enough, and he takes the Z-Fighters to the lookout, where he tells them his plan to use the hyperbolic time chamber. This time, however, instead of taking turns, he has everyone go in together. During the 3 years while Goku, Vegeta, and the Z-Fighters are training with Cell, Goku realized the value of training in a large group. He asks Bulma to give them capsules for housing and food enough to last them the whole while. Cell, Goku, Vegeta, Future Trunks, and Gohan will train together, while Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha work together. On the first day, Goku suggests to his fellow Saiyans that they spend 1 year at Super Saiyan, and Vegeta completely understands. He agrees and explains to Trunks and Gohan that by making this their base form, they'll be able to ascend to higher powers during battle. Now, while the Saiyans further their control over Super Saiyan, Cell has a completely different idea. He shocks everyone when he actually vomits up androids 18 and 17, reverting back to his imperfect form. Now remember, these androids are pure evil, and Cell is still cold and calculating. He kills them, taking one of their infinite energy engines for himself. He offers the other to the humans, and they begin plotting their own plans, and they actually exit the time chamber for now. Cell tells his Saiyan comrades that this is a weakness they can exploit in his evil counterpart as well. He believes if struck hard enough, it'll cause his brother to revert back into his semi-perfect and imperfect states. Now he's confident the evil Cell has thought of this, but he probably doesn't believe there's a warrior capable of such a feat. Cell is now imperfect, but he has infinite energy. His goal for the remainder of the year will be focused on regaining his perfect form. He believes having tasted its power, he could tap into it on his own. Cell continually battles with the Saiyans, trying to tap into that power. Eventually, in a sparring session, after being consumed by a Kamehameha, he emerges perfect once again. But he's actually gained a few new abilities. He is now able to raise and lower his ki while keeping it completely undetectable. Now, prior to this, everybody could sense Cell's ki. He was an android, but he was organic. But fusing with the android's infinite energy engines gave him access to their undetectable artificial energy. Cell can now switch between organic and artificial energy as he pleases. Year 1 officially concludes with the Saiyans ready to surpass their limits and Cell attaining perfection once again. Now, during this time training, Vegeta's personality has actually softened, even more so. Between fighting Goku, bonding with his son, and getting stronger than he ever imagined, Vegeta basically has everything he's ever wanted. In Year 2, all the Saiyans reach Super Saiyan 2 and are working towards mastering it, while Cell's power continues to grow exponentially. He is roughly at Super Saiyan 3 Goku level right now, easily the strongest fighter by a long shot. Now, during Year 2, the humans return with Bulma. She's wearing a special suit that allows her to handle the hyperbolic time chamber, and she also brings a lab with her. Using one of the infinite energy androids, Bulma works on replicating the technology and transforming the human Z-Fighters into androids. And she's working on them in the chamber, so she has plenty of time. Year 2 ends with all the humans waking up as androids and the Saiyans mastering Super Saiyan 2. Now, Year 3 is going to be about getting even stronger as Goku believes there's a form beyond Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta agrees, but he doesn't know if they'll be able to achieve it and master it in time. Cell believes that he may have a transformation of his own, reasoning that since he has Saiyan and Frieza DNA, perhaps he can achieve a form beyond his current perfection, and he will focus on this. Now, the human Z-Fighters and Piccolo have gotten immensely more powerful. Having infinite energy allowed them to train non-stop, and their power potential seems to have risen infinitely as well. Think about how strong Android 17 got just by fighting poachers. Year 3 ends and everyone emerges with powers they never even dreamed of. They are ready for Evil Cell's Cell Games. Now, as far as power rankings go, Cell is around what Super Saiyan God Goku was in Battle of Gods. Yeah, his new transformation is incredible. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, and Trunks are relative to each other, stronger than what Super Saiyan 3 Goku was in Battle of Gods, but not quite at Super Saiyan God level just yet. The Z-Fighters all gather at the Cell Games waiting for Evil Cell. He descends and scoffs, saying how pathetic. He was hoping he'd be able to fight some new faces, not this same old lot. He says he finds it odd that he can't sense some of their energies. This thought kinda freaks him out, but he just laughs it off. Good Perfect Cell flies up and tells his brother that this battle is between them and them alone. And he still offers him the chance to change his ways, to see the beauty of creation, but Evil Cell is disgusted by the mercy his brother is offering. The strong must eat the weak. He says the only beauty in this universe is his own perfection. He launches a powerful punch at Good Cell, but Good Cell just eats it, standing there, looking at his brother. Evil Cell is enraged, and he powers up and begins fighting Good Cell. The two of them are going neck and neck, and when Evil Cell amps his power, the battle seems to turn in his favor. He knocks Good Cell into the ground before boosting his power even more. He begins assaulting Good Cell, landing blow after blow after blow, but eventually, Good Cell just stops fighting altogether. He smirks at his brother and tells him his technique is far from perfect. If he wants to die, then so be it. Good Cell begins his transformation, and as he powers up, the very Earth, no, the very solar system begins to tremble. A huge golden aura emanates from him as perfect Golden Cell is born. And he chose gold to emulate his Super Saiyan comrades. Evil Cell is at a loss for words. How could he have gained this power in such a short amount of time? As Golden Cell begins to march his younger brother down, he tells him to gaze upon true perfection. He lunges and lands a devastating gut shot, causing Evil Cell to vomit up Android 18. Evil Cell reverts back to his semi-perfect form, and Golden Cell lands another devastating gut blow, causing him to vomit up Android 17 before reverting back to his imperfect form. Imperfect Cell is terrified and confused. How could he lose? Juro improved him, made him better. It's not fair. None of this makes sense, and he decides to self-detonate. But before he can, Golden Cell flies him into space and Kamehamehas him into oblivion. The Android saga ends with Golden Cell descending and smiling upon his friends. He has officially saved the day and the Earth. He is the hero of this story. And now, when future Trunks decides to go back to his timeline, Cell has a choice to go with his Saiyan comrade or to stay in the present timeline. Cell decides to stay. Trunks is more than strong enough to deal with any threats that come down the line. Cell has finally found his home. Future Trunks thanks his ally before returning back to his own timeline. Androids 17 and 18 go off on their own, and Krillin of course gets with 18 because I want him to be happy, and with infinite energy, he's going to be having infinite fun. Unfortunately, Android 16 was a casualty of Evil Cell's reign. He destroyed them before absorbing the androids. I forgot to mention that in the last part. Now, during the 7-year time skip to the Buu saga, Cell spends most of his time training with Goku and Vegeta. He has also formed a good connection to both Gohan and Piccolo. Between Goku being alive, Cell, and Piccolo, Gohan has actually not stopped training, and he's pushing himself to become the strongest, and as we all know, his potential runs really deep. Goten is also born during this time, and he spends his days hanging out with Trunks. He also has a strong bond with Cell as well. Sometimes Cell creates Cell Juniors to train with Goten and Trunks. Cell is sort of everyone's pal, and when he's not training, he's helping Bulma with her research. He is a genius after all. Now with Goku alive, it's actually his idea to get everyone to fight in the World Martial Arts Tournament. The roster this time is going to be Goku, Vegeta, Cell, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. Now the tournament continues as usual, but this time when Gohan gets jumped by Spopovich and Yamu, he's actually much more powerful. He breaks free from Shin's control and actually scares the Majin warriors away. They aren't going to wait for Shin to tell them this time. The warriors are going to follow him now. Cell, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan go ahead, and everyone else stays back and continues to fight in the tournament. When Spopovich and Yamu land at Babidi's feet, they don't even get a word out. Cell and Vegeta launch ki blasts, destroying them in front of their masters. Deborah tries to spit on one of them, but the fighters are way too fast. Gohan lunges. He's itching to fight, especially after these cowards hurt Videl. While they fight, Cell, Goku, and Vegeta follow Babidi down into his ship. Supreme Kai telepathically warns them not to release too much energy because Majin Buu will hatch. This trio has no difficulty getting past any of Babidi's minions, and they follow him straight down into Buu's egg. Babidi desperately tries to search for evil, but he can't find any, and before he can teleport them away, he gets erased by Cell. By the time Shin and Kaido land, Goku, Vegeta, and Cell have already brought up Majin Buu's egg. Gohan actually finishes his fight with Deborah and flies over to the Kais and his father. The Buu saga actually ended in a record like 2 minutes. Shin and Kaido don't have words. They thank them immensely and actually offer all of them the opportunity to train with them. And this time, Gohan and Cell actually accept. Gohan wants to learn to control his rage and find a different path of power to reconcile his hybrid nature. Him and Videl still get together before they leave for the Kai planet. Honestly, with the characters being so overpowered, it is so hard to write an interesting Buu saga without some insane bad luck. I honestly just feel like it's better to just blaze past it and follow a different path of storytelling. Buu's birth in canon is just a series of bad luck and decisions. Now back at the tournament, Trunks wins the kids tournament, and the finale ends up being Krillin, 18, Yamcha, Tien, and Piccolo. Mr. Satan is also present in the Battle Royale, but no one's going to play his games. 18 actually ends up winning once again. She is the OG android after all, but I guess you could say Krillin is the real winner here. Now, during the 5 years-ish towards the start of Dragon Ball Super, Cell and Gohan have actually learned a whole host of techniques from the Kais. This includes the Kai Kai, which allows them to visit Earth frequently. Cell actually learns of God Ki prior to the arrival of Beerus, and the duo is going to break the Z-Sword, freeing Elder Kai, and as a reward, he unlocks Gohan's potential. But this time, with there being no rush or timetable, all of Gohan's potential gets drawn out. The process is really boring and takes days, but Gohan's power is indescribable. Cell actually gets offered the same thing, but he declines. Now, Cell is curious about the hierarchy of the gods, and he learns about them from the Kais. At this point, him and Gohan have far surpassed everybody on Earth. They are the strongest warriors. Gohan's power is truly awe-inspiring. And Cell actually believes that even though Gohan got his power drawn out, that he has another transformation hidden away. Now, the day of Beerus' arrival comes, and he arrives straight to Bulma's party. Gohan, Cell, and all the other Saiyans are going to be there this time. Beerus questions them about the Super Saiyan God, and Cell is perplexed. He says he's never actually encountered nor heard of one. Where in the hierarchy of deities would one even reside? Beerus says he doesn't know, but he's had a premonition, and of course he's going to fight with Goku, Vegeta, Gohan. None of them match his power, but he does remark that Gohan is something special. He then offers Cell to fight, and says he has some Saiyan in him, and it appears he has a trace amount of God Ki as well. He also tells Gohan that he has a certain amount of God Ki as well. It's not enough to be declared a god, but it is enough to be detected by an expert such as Beerus. Cell surmises that he is not a Super Saiyan god. He's not actually technically a Saiyan. This is when Goku suggests just asking Shenron to wish one here. Of course, when Shenron arises, he says that they cannot wish one because one does not exist, and he explains the ritual of becoming a Super Saiyan god. In a game of rock, paper, scissors, Goku is selected to become the first Super Saiyan god. Gotta give bro some fight in this story. Beerus, of course, wins, and he's actually not satisfied at the fight that just happened. Despite Goku being much stronger in canon, Beerus is actually all warmed up and ready to go. Now this is when Cell decides to step up. Going Golden Cell, he pushes Beerus even further, and Beerus is having a blast. He launches a Hakai at Cell, and Cell is actually able to redirect this destruction energy, a feat only few mortals have ever achieved. He still doesn't stand a chance against Beerus, but he has given Beerus the best fight of his life. Impressed with the warriors, Whis actually offers them a chance to train with him, and he tells Cell one of them could be the next god of destruction, should Lord Beerus not be up to par. Gohan, Cell, Goku, and Vegeta all begin their training under Whis. Gohan wants to focus on unleashing his true potential, while Goku and Vegeta focus on their god forms. Cell is intrigued by God Ki, and once he learns to harness it, his unique physiology allows him to merge it with his infinite energy engine. Cell can effectively produce infinite God Ki. As if bro wasn't overpowered enough, the four warriors continue pushing themselves, and once they begin training inside of Whis' staff, many breakthroughs occur. Cell unlocks a new form, God Cell, while Goku and Vegeta unlock Super Saiyan Blue, and something completely different happens to Gohan, something beastly. Now there's not going to be any Resurrection F saga in this because between Piccolo and the human androids, the Frieza Force cannot get their hands on the Dragon Balls. They are destroyed before any wishes are made, leaving Frieza in hell. And by the time the Universe 6 tournament comes around, Universe 7 is absolutely broken. The roster this time is Gohan, Goku, Cell, and Vegeta. They decide to take the 4-on-5 disadvantage. And this time, the first one up is actually Gohan, and he is super fired up for this. He's actually got time off from work, and Gohan has balanced being both a Saiyan and a scholar perfectly. He finally has the balance within himself that he's craved since youth. Gohan easily crushes both Batamo and Frost. And beating Frost was kinda therapeutic for him. He's healed his inner child with that win. Magetta really isn't a challenge either, despite Champa trying to cheat. Gohan naturally talks shit when he's confident anyways. But when Kaba comes up against Gohan, he's actually happy to see another young Saiyan warrior. Kinda reminds him of himself. Gohan is curious and asks if his Saiyans can also go Super Saiyan, Now Kaba is confused. Gohan's been using his ultimate form and hasn't used Super Saiyan in a while, but he decides to transform into the Golden Warrior for Kaba, who's shocked at this. He humbly begs to be taught, but Gohan doesn't really know how to explain it. He tells him what his father told him, and that's that the power comes in response to a need, not a desire. Gohan launches a Kamehameha at Kaba, and as he tries to push it back, Gohan unleashes more and more power, overwhelming the young warrior. Hoping this desperation will trigger something in Kaba, unfortunately Kaba is unable to transform. He felt like his eyes flashed, but that was about it. After being knocked out of the ring, he thanks Gohan and tells him that he will train to achieve this form. Vegeta scoffs, saying Gohan's too soft to teach a Saiyan how to transform. Now finally, Universe 6's final hope, Hit, is up, the legendary assassin. And he's not impressed with Gohan's flair. Gohan's confidence has grown into full-on cockiness, and when Hit strikes him without moving, that confidence turns into fear. He puts his guard up, and he struck again. He's confused. How is Hit breaking through his defense? He's not even moving. Gohan is hit a few more times before collapsing to his knees, and he realizes while Hit is moving incredibly fast, he can anticipate his movements, because he's only going for his vital spots. With this knowledge, Gohan successfully blocks and counters Hit's strike. And this is when Goku yells out after learning from Jocko that Hit is time skipping. Hit laughs, saying that the warrior is right, and Gohan thanks his father, going into his ultimate form. Now he's the one that begins pushing Hit back, countering after defending against Hit's critical blows. Hit takes a second to seemingly power up, but he's actually adjusted his time skip. Improving his technique, he overwhelms Gohan's defenses, but right before Gohan is knocked out, he begins powering up, unleashing a raw, monstrous power, something that no one has yet seen before. With a giant smirk and even gianter hair, he unveils his new form. Beast Gohan, the culmination of his hybrid nature and his ultimate form, imbued with God Ki. This form has the ferocity of Super Saiyan Rage and the calm of Ultimate fused into one epic look. It's not even close. Beast Gohan absolutely mollywops Hit. Hit is unable to adapt fast enough, and he is promptly knocked out of the ring. Gohan powers down and nearly collapses. He is exhausted but victorious. Beerus begins celebrating, but it's cut short as Zeno arrives. He's upset that he missed this tournament, and he thinks it would have been a lot of fun. Zeno suggests that maybe they should do it again, and Goku jumps in excited as he didn't get to fight. A giant multiverse tournament would be epic. Zeno gives Goku the summoning button here and tells him to summon Zeno whenever he's ready to have this multiversal tournament. Now, while Zeno may have missed the tournament, someone didn't. Multiversal peeping Tom Zamasu has been watching, and he's disgusted. Gohan's beast form is everything he stands against. It spurs him into taking a drastic action, wishing to swap bodies. Gohan Black is born. And before he begins his attack, he decides to recruit a partner from an adjacent timeline, himself. Gohan Black begins his assault on future Trunks' planet. Now Trunks is appalled to see his master's face be at the forefront of this genocide. And when he confronts this imposter with the face of his master, Gohan Black tells him that mortals mean nothing to him. Trunks tries his best, even unleashing the power of Super Saiyan 3, but it doesn't stand a chance against what Gohan Black is. Our time-traveling hero has no choice. He has to escape back into the past. Future Trunks arrives in the present, greeted by Cell, Goku, his father, and Gohan. Trunks lunges at Gohan immediately, but he's pulled back, and this is when he realizes he's made it back into the past. He explains to his friends what's happening, and Gohan is confused. Why would he ever do this? Cell begins to immediately form a few potential theories, but he doesn't know which one is correct. As they gather themselves, Gohan Black emerges from a black hole. Now Goku's been desperately itching for a fight and leaps in at the opportunity. Now between all of his training with Cell, Vegeta, and Whis, Goku is much more disciplined, so he begins his attack much more aggressively. Launching a massive Kamehameha at Gohan Black, he manages to destroy one of his arms. And as he's going for the finish, Gohan Black gets sucked back into the future. Goku is actually upset at himself that he didn't finish the job, but Cell tells him not to worry. They will go to the future and they will fix this timeline once and for all. Cell feels guilty for essentially abandoning his timeline and Trunks, but Trunks assures him his place is here, and that while he misses him, he's happy Cell found his place and is connected with those who made him. Cell promises Trunks he will correct this, and alongside Vegeta, they take Trunks to the hyperbolic time chamber. There's no time to waste because Goku and Gohan Black's battle destroyed future Trunks' time machine. Bulma alongside a few Cell Juniors will work day and night to fix it. Now Goku and Gohan go to the Kai's planet to train. Whis doesn't want any part of this time travel, but he suggests to Goku that the energy he felt from Black was similar. Beerus agrees. This is quite the perplexing thought. Now in the time chamber, Vegeta and Cell work Trunks tirelessly, forcing him into a new transformation. In under a year, they make Trunks a Super Saiyan God, and imbued with his newfound power, Trunks is ready to face his demons. Meanwhile, in the future, Gohan Black has recovered. He's down an arm, but he's learned something about this hybrid body, tapping into a great power within it. He's also learned something very crucial about the timeline. In the present, the time machine is ready. Goku, Vegeta, Cell, future Trunks, and Gohan travel to the future. As soon as they arrive, they flare their ki and they are met with Gohan Black. He tells Goku that he will pay for taking his arm, but he thanks him because he taught him something. In fact, he brought someone special for him to meet. Goku Black emerges and everyone is shocked. Gohan Black explains that he realized once he went back to the past that the timelines were different. He knew there were multiple branches, but he didn't know how many. He's recruited allies from all across these timelines to create an army of warriors ready to purify all of existence. Goku Black, Vegeta Black, Gohan Black, Cell Black, and an invincible Zamasu declare in unison that Project Zero Mortal begins now. They launch a massive unified ki attack towards our warriors and they are barely able to dodge it. Goku faces his counterfeit while Vegeta faces his. Cell looks upon his shadow self while future Trunks and Gohan team up against Zamasu and Gohan Black. Cell begins to laugh while gazing upon his imposter, telling him that he's defeated an evil counterfeit of himself before, and he's no different. They begin their fight and Cell quickly realizes that Cell Black fights a lot like Gohan Black. Quickly glancing over at the other imposters, he realizes, in fact, they all fight the same, like they're the same exact person. Now, Cell Black's power is insurmountable, but with all the different abilities in his arsenal, Zamasu doesn't know how to control Cell's body just yet. And Cell can immediately tell. Transforming into his god form, Perfect Cell begins to dismantle his evil twin. Gohan faces down his one-armed twin and is shocked to see his power. Gohan Black unleashes a new form, almost in unison with his counterparts. His version of Super Saiyan Rose is a power unlike anything Gohan has ever faced. But even the power of the gods pales into comparison to what Gohan has become. Tapping into his beast form, he begins beating Gohan Black back. Future Trunks is holding his own against the immortal Zamasu, but his immortality is annoying. Even in his god form, he's unable to do any permanent damage. Goku and Vegeta are faring well against their counterfeits. In fact, they are just about wrapped up with them. Gohan Black's power begins to rise as he taps deeper into Gohan's power, but before it gets too high, Beast Gohan launches a special beam cannon. He's been working with Piccolo to master this technique. Gohan Black is desperate. He tries to push it back, but it's impossible to defend against. It pierces his chest. In a quick desperation move, he quickly switches his Potara, merging with the immortal Zamasu. And while this is happening, Goku, Cell, and Vegeta defeat their counterparts. Merged Zamasu is born and his power is petrifying. No one has ever sensed such pure evil before. Declaring himself the Angel of Death, he begins laying waste to the planet. All the Saiyans and Cell power up to their maximum. And now between Golden Cell, Beast Gohan, Super Saiyan God Trunks, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Goku, they are able to counter the entity's attacks, distracting the merged monstrosity enough, allowing Golden Cell, Trunks, and Gohan to go in for the finishing blow. They quickly manage to dispatch this would-be god, erasing all traces of Zamasu. But of course, he becomes an ethereal ghost because he's annoying. But thankfully, Goku has the Deus Ex Zeno button, and bam, the day is saved. They return back to the present with Zeno, and the Gohan Black arc has ended. Again, honestly, with how overpowered I made the squad, there is not much to do besides them speedrunning Dragon Ball Super. Now, they tell Whis and Beerus about Zamasu, and he's erased from this timeline as well. And when Whis offers Trunks to return to the alternate future, where he already exists, Cell tells him to stay in the timeline he saved, to stay in the present. And future Trunks stays. Bro, how easily is this squad about to wipe the Tournament of Power? Now, when it comes time for the Tournament of Power, Beerus declares Cell the leader of Team Universe 7. While Goku and Vegeta have made significant gains, Cell and Gohan are still the strongest fighters in the universe. The team roster will consist of Cell, Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, Android 17 and 18, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien. Now, while Yamcha was made into an android, he's more focused on baseball than fighting. Infinite stamina has given him the opportunity to make infinite money. Now, this tournament is basically a slaughter at this point. Honestly, I'm going to do a whole separate video on why Cell should have been resurrected for the Tournament of Power, but this version of the tournament goes like this. When the Universe 7 fighters land, Grand Priest goes over the rules of the Tournament of Power. Now, while Cell can fly with his ki, he is actually able to fly with his wings as well. So the only rule he really has to abide by is the fact that he can't kill anybody, which is not going to be hard because he is a good guy in this after all. Cell's initial strategy was for everybody to stick together, but he knows the fighters at this point. He knows that's not going to fly. So his new strategy is for everybody to stick in pairs and stick around each other. This allows everybody to do their own thing, but at the same time, if they get in trouble, they will be within an earshot of another fighter to get assisted. Kind of like how the real Tournament of Power ended up going. Now, as the tournament starts, all the Z fighters are easily able to hold their own, and they aren't actively looking for fights. Goku and Vegeta easily eliminate Universe 9, who's overzealous in trying to eliminate Goku, because the Zeno Expo still happened and Goku embarrassed them, even worse than he did in canon. Now, future Trunks and Gohan have some very cool team-up moments, and for Trunks, it's very healing to fight alongside his master again. And you can have some cool flashbacks showing future Gohan's face juxtaposed with our present Gohan's face, just like they did when Trunks said goodbye to Gohan in the anime. Now, the first big event that happens in the tournament is Kale going berserk. And before Jiren can step in to stop her, it's actually Cell who stops her. And Cell eliminates her, putting a target on his back from Universe 6. To be honest, it never made sense to me that Jiren didn't eliminate Kale, but it is what it is. Now, after eliminating Kale, Jiren approaches Goku. And with Goku being stronger than he was in canon, he actually forces Jiren to use more of his power during their initial engagement. And eventually, when the time comes, Goku is able to tap into UI Omen. And with his body being much stronger, he's able to hold the form much longer. However, we all know that Ultra Instinct Omen isn't enough to defeat the monster that is Jiren. So even though Goku reaches a height he's never reached, Jiren still gets the upper hand as Goku hasn't mastered Ultra Instinct. But during this fight, someone was watching. Cell approaches an unconscious Goku and lends him some of his energy. Remember, he has infinite God Ki. Goku recovers and is ready to fight Jiren once again, but Cell asks for him to step back. He's had his turn. It's Cell's time. Cell is the perfect fighter, and he's also been working with Whis and Goku to unlock this technique. And now, after seeing Goku do it and feeling the energy coming off of him, Cell is able to access Ultra Instinct on his own. And once again, remember, Cell has infinite God Ki, so he can stay in this form indefinitely. Everything Gero built, everything Cell has been destined for, is coming to fruition. With a calm and satisfying sigh followed by a smirk, Cell launches his initial assault against Jiren. Feeling the calm energy, Cell's power is overwhelming. He continually transcends deeper and deeper into this form, and another point to remember is that current manga Goku is able to use Ultra Instinct in tandem with his transformations. Cell's form is flooded with God Ki, fueling Cell's speed, strength, endurance, and stamina. He effectively becomes a blur, and Jiren is forced to unleash all of his power. But it doesn't matter. Jiren is nothing compared to what Cell has ascended to. He is the definition of perfection personified. Cell charges up a Kamehameha, standing right in front of Jiren as he does so. Jiren desperately tries to escape, but wherever he goes, Cell appears right in front of him, charging up. Eventually, he launches the most powerful Kamehameha the multiverse has ever seen, sending Jiren flying into the bleachers. Cell's perfection has just been witnessed by all the gods in the multiverse, who stand up in awe. The android who ascended. Cell spends the rest of the tournament at the center of the ring, meditating in Ultra Instinct. Goku rises up and he's pumped up as he has a whole new level of power to strive for. Gohan, Piccolo, all of Universe 7 sees Cell as the hope of their universe. Vegeta's pride has never been higher, because if this false Saiyan can reach these heights, imagine what the Prince of all Saiyans can reach. Trunks simply bows towards his friend, the android who saved his timeline, the android who became his friend, the android who ascended past everyone. Universe 7 goes on a slaughter spree, eliminating universes left and right. No one stands a chance against them. Between the infinite energy androids, Goku and Vegeta breaking their limits, future Trunks and Gohan, every universe falls, and Universe 7 wins this tournament without losing a single fighter. A feat no one could have predicted. Universe 7 wins, and of course, Cell is given the wish. And he wishes for all the universes to be restored. And to be honest, I'm having a lot of fun with this episode, and I wish I could do a Broly story, but without the Frieza Force being there, it doesn't seem like Broly's getting off of Vampa anytime soon. However, depending on how this video is received, I may adopt the Moreau arc, and even move up to the Granola arc, as well as the Cell Max arc. And I will do that if this video gets 10,000 views. But let me know what you guys' favorite part of this scenario was in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Peace. This video should be titled Cell Speedruns Dragon Ball.